Today, I want to talk about the power of saving early. So, a lot of times you think when you first graduate that you just don't have enough money to save. And I want to let you know that in a lot of cases, that's probably more discretionary money than you will have for the rest of your life, or at least for a very long time. So, make sure that you're saving early. And in order to reiterate that fact, please stay tuned because I'm going to walk through some different scenarios of when people start saving and the impacts that has. Before I start that, I want to make sure one thing is understood, and that is compound growth. So this means that not only the principal is grown, but the earnings on that principal also continue to grow and multiply. So if we look at just a $10,000 investment, so after 1 year, that's going to be $11,163. For 2 years, it's going to be $13,909. After 5 years, it's going to be $17,331. And after 10 years, it's going to be $30,037. That is 3 times what you originally invested. And by year 20, it's all the way up to 90,220. That is 9 times what you originally invested. But here's the real magic is if you start investing at age 22, 40 years later at age 62, when you're starting to think about retirement or even already retired, you are now going to have $813,969. This is more than 81 times your initial investment. And that is the power of compound interest. So think about this in terms of cars. If you just bought a car that was $10,000 less and invested that $10,000, well, that's now going to be almost $1 million by the time you get ready to retire. And if you want to see the math on that specific example, I've got another video I'll show here in the upper right. The other thing, if you're just doing some math, I want to point out the rule of 72. And what this rule is you divide 72 by your average interest rate. So if your account is producing on average 11% per year, you divide 72 by 11, you get 6.5. So it's going to take roughly 6.5 years in order to double. So if you look at it in a perspective of years, it's 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So in 5 times 6.5. So in 32.5 years, you're going to have 32 times what you started with. There's a phrase that says, when in doubt, zoom out. So when you look at these things over a span of 40 years, suddenly those dips don't appear so large. Let's take the dip of 2001, the dot-com bubble. Well, once you zoom out and you now show the returns from, let's say, 1990 to 2025, that huge drop from that dot-com bubble, it now is just a blip on the radar. So that's the other advantage of saving early is you're able to zoom way out and all those pluses and minuses, they really just look like bumps in the road. All right, so now I want to show you an example here, and this is in my Right Capital planning software. And we've got a client here named Saver Extraordinaire. Now, as you can see, he's got $100 to his name. He's currently age 22. And now if we look at his income, he's going to be making $68,000 this year. This is year one of his job. And this is the average salary of a college graduate at age 22. We're going to set up that he's retires at full retirement age, which should be age 67 unless the law changes. For his savings right now, for the initial plan, we're going to show everything is zero. So everything is going to be 0%, and we're going to see how he does. Now, one thing I have done in this scenario is I have made it all money that isn't accounted for is spent. So I have the expenses set at relatively low at the beginning before retirement because of that, where basically anything that he doesn't save is going to be spent. So then in retirement, I have those set up separately. I have his retirement expenses set at $7,000. So if you think about that for a new person, that may be slightly expensive, but for most of us in retirement, $7,000 monthly expense is not that unreasonable for expenses. All right. So when we look at his retirement plan, we can see here the current plan. This is basically no savings. And obviously, as we can probably have expected, there's going to be zero probability of success. So if Saver Extraordinaire does not live up to his namesake and doesn't save anything, then he's going to run out of money. Basically his Social Security will not cover his expenses. So here, we're first going to look at a late saver. So let's say that Saver Extraordinaire starts saving when he's 45. And again, we're looking for all of these scenarios. We're going to say that Saver's retirement, he's basically going to work up to the day that he starts claiming Social Security at age 67. And Saver's planning horizon, since he's already lived to 22, he's going to live, according to tables, approximately another 55 and a half years. I rounded that up and I put age 78. So obviously, all of these, if Saver's planning horizon extends, his probability of successes are actually going to go down. But we can see here, if Saver Extraordinaire starts at age 45 and invests 10%, and that includes a 3% match, so 13% total, he's going to have a 41% chance probability of success. And the most likely scenario, the median, is he's going to end with $0. And that's because of this low probability of success. So how do we improve that? If we have him now save 15%, so he's going to save 15% now plus the 3% match, and we can get it all the way up to an 80% probability of success and a median portfolio of slightly over $1 million. Again, this is in future dollars. So not terrible, but he does need to start chunking away a large percentage there at that later time. So age 45. So now I have the late saver. And again, this late saver is saving 15% against a mid saver. So now Saver Extraordinaire is able to start a little bit earlier. He probably waits until the house is established and the kids are all born, but they start at age 35. And now we can see here, I've left everything the same with the exception of the mid saver. He's going to start at age 35 and he's going to start saving 10% of his income plus that 3% match, so 13% total. And we can see now, even though he's saving 5% less, he has a probability of success of 93% and will end with roughly 3 times as much money in the end. And if we bump this up to 15%, now we can see a 98% probability of success and over $6 million. So almost 6 times what the late saver has. So a huge improvement there by bumping it up to age 35. Now I'm going to look at the full career saver. So finally, Saver Extraordinaire is starting to live up to his name, and he's going to start investing from day one. So at age 22, he's going to start saving. And we're going to compare him to that late saver. And remember, that late saver was saving 15%. But this full career saver at age 22 is now only going to save 3%. Now, they're still going to get that full 3% match, so 6% total. But Saver Extraordinaire has a higher probability of success and almost 3 times the ending median portfolio. So again, that is 12% less if he just starts as soon as he gets out of college. Next, I want to show what getting a head start really does. So by a head start, what I'm doing is now I'm taking that full career saver, so saving that 3% versus a head start plus the 3%. And what I mean by this is, let's say Saver Extraordinaire started their Roth IRA when they were, let's say, age 16 and had a part-time job and started chunking money away into that Roth IRA, that tax-free asset. And then during college, maybe during the summers or other times, they were able to continue that savings and have it grow over those 6 years. And let's say that Saver Extraordinaire was able to graduate with a Head Start account in his Roth IRA of $20,000. So now $20,000, everything else remains the same between that full career saver. The only difference is starting with $20,000. And as we can see, $20,000 has increased the probability of success by 7%. It's now all the way up to 91%. But if we look at it, that $20,000 has been equivalent to almost $2 million at the end of the plan. So that $20,000 is incredibly powerful at increasing the amount. More importantly, it opens up doors. It opens up doors to things like, maybe I can retire earlier. Maybe I can take more lavish vacations. Maybe I can afford to stay in my current house. Whatever you want to do, it opens more doors. All right, let's say we saved 15%, got the 3% match, and got the head start. So again, everything else is the same, but we're going to be investing now 15% from the very get-go, and we're going to be starting with that $20,000 head start. It's a 100% probability of success, and you could end up with $20 million. Now, I do not recommend dying with $20 million in the bank. Let's go ahead and spend that. But let's go ahead and spend it on the things that we like retiring early, going on lavish vacations, instead of going out to dinner, going and getting a coffee, and things like that. So here are the key takeaways. Please start a Roth early. If you've got a job and you've got earned income, let's go ahead and start it. Start chunking away 20% of that income that you've made into that Roth IRA. I guarantee you, your 65-year-old self will thank you tremendously for it. The other thing is make sure when you get that first job that you are at a bare minimum putting in enough to get that full match. And make sure that in most cases, you put that into a Roth IRA. Those will probably be your lowest earning years, and most likely that will be the lowest tax bracket you'll ever be in. I'm not saying it's the same for everybody. You may have a large inheritance in certain years or something else happening, but in most cases, that Roth IRA is going to be the best option for you. And then automate your increases annually. So each year, you most likely get a step up for a inflation adjusted each year. So go ahead and take at least 1% of that and increase your contributions to your retirement accounts. So if you started at that 3%, go ahead and move to 4% and then 5% and then 6% until you get all the way up to that 15%. And then double up when you get a promotion. So if you get a promotion and an increase in pay, go ahead and take half of that increase and chunk it towards that retirement. Again, until you get at least to that 15%. And if you really want to retire early, think about 20 or 25%. The big one, though, is never cash out. A lot of times when people move jobs, they're like, okay, well, I can now take that retirement savings out and just cash it in. When you cash it in, not only are you going to pay taxes for that entire lump sum as if you earned it that year, but you're also going to pay a 10% early withdrawal penalty. So you're going to get hammered in taxes by pulling that out early. Make sure that is your seed money for your retirement. Make sure you never cash it out. And don't treat your 401k like it's a loan department. It may be very tempting to use that as a loan in order to get you through hard times or maybe as a down payment. I caution you against this. In most cases, you're just affecting your overall retirement account balance because yes, you're going to be paying yourself interest, but that interest is not going to be necessarily what that market value could be returning had you not taken out that loan balance. The next one is to take advantage of an HSA. If you've got ability to invest in an HSA, make sure that you're contributing to it. And don't treat it like a bank account. Don't go ahead and take out all medical expenses for the current year out of that HSA account. Allow that thing to just grow. Don't take anything out of it. I've got a great video here about that HSA. Make sure you go ahead and watch that if you want to learn more about this. And the big one here is delayed gratification. That's what life is all about. Instead of making that mocha fropa cappuccino, whatever it is that you buy on a Tuesday, is just think about investing that $8 instead. And probably in 40 years, it's going to be 81 times that $8. So you're looking at $640 instead of a coffee. So delayed gratification, it's what it's all about. Go ahead and take your young years because those years are going to have the highest multipliers. Anything that you're saving at age 42 is going to be multiplied 81 times. Anything that you're going to be saving by the age of 55 is only going to be multiplied maybe by 3. And the most important is start today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Go ahead and open those accounts and start putting money in them. If you have earned income, you can open a Roth IRA. And even if you're not 18, your parents can open up a custodial Roth IRA in your name. And then when you turn 18, it will automatically go back over to you. So just think about that. If you just put $100 today in there, it's going to be over $8,100 in 40 years. So start today. If you've got other great ideas that you want to share about saving early, go ahead and throw them in the comments. And if you like this video, please like it and go ahead and subscribe so you can watch more videos just like it.
Information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. I am not your financial advisor, and you should consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. All investments involve risks, including the potential loss of principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This video does not endorse any specific investment or strategy. By watching this video, you agree that I am not responsible for any financial outcomes based on the information provided.